No one ever agrees to be locked in a basement, a metal dog collar, and I'm picturing this in my mind because I think about the slave collars around this young lady's neck with a padlock that no one's looking for because they're saying it's not happening. If she would have never got away, we wouldn't be here today. So far, saying that there was never no missing women. It was all a hoax. No one died. No one's missing. No one's being taken off a prospect. But again, that's the same thing that happened with Terry Blair. The exact same thing that happened with Terry Blair. And we ended up working that case by accident. We was doing a neighborhood cleanup and ran across the first body. Doing a neighborhood cleanup. And it just kept going as we were doing more cleanups within the community and found out there was more young ladies there and more missing. But again, they kept saying these are isolated incidents as this is going on. But we knew even in Blair's case that it's not isolated. Berdella here in Kansas City.
Sure. Yeah.
How he got away with it too.
Right.
They kept saying isolated incidents. Here's a man selling body parts in a store in Westport.
Yeah.
Residents in Missouri are criticizing police for what they call inaction to reports of missing Black women in the area.
Now, this is all surrounding a case from a few weeks ago. A 22-year-old Black woman escaped from a man in Excelsior Springs who she says raped her and kept her hostage in his basement for a month. That man, Timothy Haslett Jr., is facing multiple charges, including kidnapping and assault. Now, an article by the Kansas City Defender is claiming that residents in Missouri had been raising the alarm about Black women going missing in the area weeks before the woman was found. At the time, the Defender reported that the Kansas City Police Department called the rumors, quote, completely unfounded.
Ryan Zoel joins us now. He is the founder and editor-in-chief of the Kansas City Defender, an online publication devoted to reporting on the Black community. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us. Can you give us more details about what residents had been telling police about missing women prior to October 7th when the victim was found?
Absolutely. First off, thank you all so much for bringing me on here to talk about this incredibly tragic situation. It's truly horrifying, quite honestly. And the people that actually initially made these reports and these testimonies of missing Black women were here where I'm located in Kansas City, Missouri. Just for clarification, it was the people here in our community in Kansas City that were making these initial reports that Black women were both missing and potentially being killed, specifically on a street called Prospect here in Kansas City. And we also reported on that. We talked to numerous people in our community who said that missing Black women were, being snatched off of this street called Prospect in Kansas City, Missouri. And despite the fact that we reported it, despite the fact that numerous community members were also raising the alarm about this issue, the Kansas City Police Department, without contacting us to see where we got this information from, without reaching out to anyone in the community whatsoever, without reaching out to any community leaders, our Kansas City Police Department responded 3 days later and said that the reports that we made were completely unfounded without doing any type of investigation whatsoever. And of course, as you all mentioned, about a month later, after the police department said that those reports were completely unfounded, this woman from Excelsior Springs who escaped from this man's basement said that she had actually been picked up and snatched off of Prospect Avenue here in Kansas City at the exact same time period that we said in our reporting, and that people in our community were reporting that Black women were being snatched from this street called Prospect. And so the most troubling aspect of this entire situation is, number one, that our community is not being listened to, specifically Black women. That is what we find to be the most disturbing aspect of this situation is that we made these reports. We, raised the alarm multiple times, and our police department quite literally silenced the alarms that people in our community were making.